snicked away another withered vine before looking up. He knew he would be in trouble if he were seen to stop work, even for a moment, yet something made him pause and turn. And then he saw him. The man was maybe 50 feet away, passing in and out of view between the plane trees lining the Roman road built at the same time as the vineyards. The road was directly behind where Majid was working and lower down the hill, so no movement could have caught his eye. He was also far enough away that the sound of footsteps could not have reached him, even if the wind had been in the right direction, which it wasn't. There was no wind today anyway, only sunlight and the melting ground mist and the promise of another day of solid heat that would sit like a boulder on his back as he worked, drying the ground to dust between the green lines of vines. Majid shielded his eyes against the glare of the morning sun and watched the man pass in and out of view between the trees, moving through the mist that pooled in the lower valley. He was pale and slender and tall and wore a light suit jacket that looked formal and old, and his hair was white, though he seemed young, moving with the smooth grace of a dancer and not the stiffness of a man of advanced years. Majid listened out through the whine of insects for the sound of his footsteps, and heard instead the snap of a twig behind him and the swish of a cane cutting through the air, followed by the sharp burn of sudden pain.
"The fuck I'm paying you for?"
Majid turned and raised his arms against the next blow.
"Désolé,"
he called out, backing away from the man with the stick in his hand.
"Désolé, monsieur."
Majid bumped against the vines, and a handful of grapes pattered onto the dust, their skins wrinkled and spotted with blight.
"Sorry doesn't get the work done."
The cane sliced back down, and Majid felt the bite of it on his forearm and fell to his knees. He stared up at the large, sweaty figure of Michel Lepoux through a gap in his raised arms and saw anger burning in piggy eyes, staring out from a bright red face.
"Désolé, Monsieur Lepoux," he said.
The cane rose again, and Majid closed his eyes against the blow, heard the swish of it coming back down and the slap of it striking skin, only this time he felt no pain. He opened his eyes and looked up. Lepoux was standing right in front of him, silhouetted against the bleached blue sky, and so was the man from the road.
"Ouch,"
he said in a voice that was low like thunder and soft as the wind through the vines.
"Ça fait mal."
That hurt. He stretched the word mal like the locals did, and it came out sounding more like mel. Lepoux tugged at his cane, trying to free it from the man's grip, but he held on to it with little apparent effort, despite the fact that Lepoux was twice the weight of the stranger. Lepoux stopped tugging and glared at the man.
"You're trespassing."
"And you are violently assaulting someone," the stranger replied. "Which of those crimes is the greater, do you suppose?"
"Crime?"
Lepoux spat on the ground.
"There is no crime. This man is mine, and what I do with my property on my land is my business."
He yanked the stick again, and the stranger let go, sending Lepoux stumbling backwards. He grabbed at the vines, and more shriveled grapes pattered to the ground. The stranger dipped down to pick one up. "Your country banned slavery in 1831. He crushed the grape, sniffed the pink juice, then licked the end of his finger and looked up at Lepoux. "So, how can this man be your property?" Lepoux stood up and pulled his sweat-damp shirt away from his skin.
"I don't know who you are, monsieur. Your accent's local, but I know that you're not. I know everyone around here. Lawyer.